Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Today's Friday, and I'm really excited uh, to be here today, just like every other day, making time for myself and for hopefully this will bring you some enjoyment time as well. And today is all about how does creating today or any other day make you feel more grounded? And I just have to tell you that every time every time I create on these lives, and for some of you it's like really early in the morning, some of you may not be so much, but whatever the day is, creating has made me this week feel more accomplished. In the last 7 days that we've been doing this has made me feel more accomplished. I just can't believe it's been 7 days. Um and it's been tiring, don't get me wrong. And it I was thinking about how last night I just came home, took a nap, and everything else just stopped in my world, and um I think I was just sleep deprived, and so I took a nap, what I call a naptizer. You take a nap before you go to bed kind of thing. Yeah, that happens to me often. But the whole point of making time for yourself and your art is how it makes you feel less stressed, more empowered. And I've definitely felt that this week. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get started on jelly printing. Good morning, Christina. How are you this morning? Okay, let's see here. Just trying to get all the things. It's a little warm in my area. So this here is we're going to jelly print. I wanted to make some jelly prints because I have that other collage I want to make with y'all. So there's really supposed to be two collages a day, one real quick and simple, and that's the one I need more jelly prints for. And so this is my 9 by 12 jelly print. I mean gel plate. As you can see, I do not clean my gel plates because I'm hoping to pull up some of this grungy goodness. If you before we get started in this, if you want to join my once a month calls, um I can answer all the things on the on the jelly plate, gel printing, using gel prints in your collages, etc., those kinds of things. Go over to my community and um go over to my community and that's the only way you'll be able to join those once a month calls. So head on over there, come and hang out with us. Actually, I have it scheduled, I believe, for the 29th of March. So you have a little bit more time to join the community, but go on over there and check it out. There's also daily prompts that I also talk about in my videos and that I answer in the community. So go check that out. You didn't wake up at 2 a.m. this morning? Well, that's good, Christina. I would hate for you to be waking up at 2 a.m. I often feel that way when I'm working. If something's on my mind, I will definitely wake up and won't be able to go back to sleep. And there's been times I've gotten up to go create. But since starting this 100-day journey, yeah, I'm sleeping up until the time. And then I'm rolling out of bed and coming up here. So that maybe that's been helping my sleeping. Anyway, all right. So I'm using rice paper. Um, and I always like my paper to be bigger than my gel plate because I like to have the whole edge of the rice paper. This particular rice paper I've used a lot, and there's a smooth side and a textured side. You want to print on the smooth side of the paper. So we're going to be doing that today. And oh, I can't see your comments. Okay, good. So we're going to do some printing here. And we're mostly going to work with the yellows, the yellow oranges, if you will. So need a couple mustard colors. And then I have some stencils. I have tons of stencils. There's a video that I did back in January about organize and declutter. And it's all about stencils. So that that was a real fun video, going through all my stencils and pitching out what I don't really use anymore. The other thing I like are the speedball brayers. So I have this 6-inch speedball brayer, and I do have a 4-inch. I like that as well. But for these larger plates, I do like the 6-inch, and I also like this 6-inch brayer even for my smaller gel plates. So it's really what's up to you. I even have a 2-inch brayer as well. But all right, now the thing to think about when you're jelly printing is whatever's the bottom layer is typically what's going to show on your print first. However, if your paints, and these are my favorite paints right here, these guys, any paint will work. The cheap craft paints, any paint will work. You have to understand the viscosity of the paint. Is the paint have high viscosity or does it have low viscosity? And the reason why that's important is because how it reacts to the gel plate. Does it beat up more or does it provide a more thicker layer, for lack of a better word? Oh, wow, Kara, you're up early. Well, thank you for joining. So that viscosity of the paint you need to understand. You also need to understand, is it opaque paint or transparent? And the way you can tell that is by the tube. There's usually some kind of mark on the paint tube. They're typically the same kind of mark, but sometimes they're not. But for Winsor Newton, it's the little squares, and this means semi-transparent. So what that means is that if I put this on the plate, you're going to see through this paint. This one's also semi-transparent. What's interesting is this one does not have, yes, it does. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Right there. That means it's transparent. This paint right here, love this color, but it's transparent. So it's not really going to be that fun. This one here is an opaque paint. So understanding the differences of when to use which, if you're interested in that kind of video of when to use transparent paint versus opaque paint and those kinds of things, go ahead and drop a comment in the below, and maybe I'll create that. Also, understanding the viscosity of the different types of paints. There's like a lot of technical things that can help you really push your prints to what you're looking for. But if you're like me and you just want to play and see what happens, that's definitely this one here too. This is a different symbol. See that symbol there? That's also transparent paint. So yeah, I'm just looking at all these. Sorry. Where is this one? Oh, there it is. It's semi-transparent. So we don't really have any opaques except for this brown one. Any case, if you, like I said, missed the name of the paint. Oh, yes, Kara, it is Winsor Newton. It is my favorite paint. You'll see a lot of artists use golden paint, golden acrylic, which in my book is very expensive. Love the paint, love the company, don't love the price. Winsor Newton is middle of the road, as whereas some of the other paints you get from Michaels or Hobby Lobby, if you will, those are cheaper paints, a little bit more affordable. These Winsor Newtons, it's in the middle of the road on the price range. So I like these the best, not only because of the price, but because of the viscosity of the paint and just the look and feel of the colors, the richnesses of them. And then I know this sounds weird, but when you put the paint on the plate, and you roll it out, it's like buttery, if that makes sense. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but anyway. Um, yeah, I wish golden was in my budget too. Love their paints. Okay, so the thing you want to think about when you're jelly printing is you want to be able to see your plate, whatever it's on underneath. So if you put too much paint on your plate, um, you can always brayer it off. So here, just because I know how much this 9x12 gel plate takes, I don't have a lot of paint on my plate. If your brayer makes you feel like when you're driving on ice, if you drive on ice or have ever, and you're like slipping and sliding, or even like on a wet road, you probably have too much paint on your plate. You see how you can see the lines of my glass mat underneath here? So you know you have just the right amount of paint. I always start with the base layer. And again, this is that rice paper. And I always like my paper to be larger, smaller than my plate, because I like the full width of the paper. So I will take these old school papers and I will lay them down so that I don't get paint all over my hands. But also, if you think about it, like on this one, right, I'm making more gel plants. So, and then depending on where you are, depends on how long you have to play with your paint. So where I'm located, we have more humidity. But if someone who has less humidity, their plate, the paint on their plate may dry faster. So that's another technical thing that you have to understand when you're gel printing. How much time do you have? So see, I have some more. And over time, these just become prints. Okay. And that's why this is why I don't clean my plate. It's because I'm hoping to pull up other things that were on here. Oh, it looks like I got some other things on here too, but that's okay. Oh, that's driving me nuts. Take that off there. Okay. So that's how I always start, with like a base layer. Like a solid color is always good. Then if you wanted to add another layer, then you could go with another color. Now, if you wanted to do like layers, like Kara, I saw that you were doing some gel printing with layers, then you want to dry between each layer. And so the length of time that it may take you to dry between each layer may be lesser than other times. So it just really depends on the amount of paint you put on your plate. Now, when I add two colors to a paint like this, I want to mix it, right? If I were just to roll this, I would have a bunch of dots. Maybe that's what you want, but not in this case. So I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to like use my brayer as a brush. Now, this is a little bit more paint than what I was hoping for, but because I put down a lot of orange, and that's all right. To get more paint off your plate, keep rolling it. The more you roll, the more it takes it off and puts it back on your brayer. And so for this one, it's a little bit, the contrast is not quite what I want. So I'm going to make another base layer. Do y'all, Kara or Christina, do y'all have any comments or questions? I will have a hard stop at 5. But we can always do some more jelly printing tomorrow. because I want to make some more gel prints for this collage that I want to start doing. So we could take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if we want to make more collages. I mean, prints. Nope. Okay. So now we got those two. Now let's do a little bit more of the yellow. I want more of a yellow mustard color. So less orange next time. More yellow, less orange. And maybe the orange that's left on my brayer, maybe that will be just enough. Let's see. No, it's not. All right, just add a little bit more. Oh, where are my pliers? Okay, fine. We'll just do a little bit of orange. One that burnt sienna, but I don't see my pliers. Sometimes I can't get the caps off the paint tubes. So I have to have my pliers, and I just don't see them right now. All right, let's just mix that in. Okay. All right. I like that darker color. Now this is where, how many of you get bubble wrap in the mail? I get it all the time. And this is the best. This is the best to make prints on your gel plate with. This is one of my favorite. I like this one because it covers my plate. Okay. You may not be able to see, well, maybe you can. See that. Okay. So we're going to let that dry just a little bit. Now, some people, I'm just letting this dry. Some people will use gel matte medium if they want their print to pull up without another color. Other people, like myself, don't typically do that. I just use paint. And so to pull this print up, if I wanted to use a different color, I could do that. But remember, I wanted it on this base color. So I will probably go back to yellow for this. It's a little dry, but the thing, when you do a gel print pull like this, you want to give it enough time to dry, but then you want a thin layer of paint and enough to pull it up. The whole thing probably won't pull up when I do this, because it's going to be a real thin layer. And the other thing is, you want to be able to see the print underneath. So as I put this yellow on the plate, you see how you can see the bubble wrap underneath? Now I'm going to rub this one a little bit longer because I really want that bubble wrap to pull up. And I get all my edges. All right. Now, it's okay if I left paint, because that's going to be great texture for the next print. All right, let's see what we get on this one. And once you start jelly printing, you can't stop. And we're almost up to time. I can't believe it. So there is that print. A little wet still. And there's that print right there. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Christina. I'm hoping I'm inspiring. Now, I'm going to do a yellow on top of this orange, and I'm going to show you that there's going to definitely be a difference here. And that'll be the last print that I do. And we'll look at that real quick. All right, Briar, where'd you go? Okay. All right. We'll get one of my stencils. Oh, it's drying. I can feel it. Okay. So here's a stencil. And then we'll put the paper there. Okay, I just wanted to get the edges. Now, what I want to do is go back and make sure I got the insides of the stencil. So I'm really pushing in between each of the negative spaces on the stencil, because that will go onto my paper. All right. Now, this is why I said you really got to understand your paint. You see how light that is? That yellow is, like I said, semi-transparent. And so this is you see the design, but it's not, the contrast is not really there. And so that's why you have to understand that kind of, what are you doing with this? Now, underneath here, right, is another print. However, it's probably dry. And so if I were to put the bubble wrap paper on here, I may not be able to pull anything up, but we can always try. And if I don't pull it up, it's okay. Just leave it on the gel plate and it'll be there for next time. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Kara. Yes, I can show me Posca pins on the gel plate. My apologies. Yes, I will do that. Just totally forgot about doing that. So see here, it didn't even come up. I mean, some of it did, but you just can't see it because the paint's so transparent. There's like a spot right there. So just go ahead and leave that there. But yes, I will show that tomorrow, Kara. My apologies. Forgot to show you. Okay, so real quick, as I close this out, definitely think about how creating helps you feel more grounded. As I said in the beginning, it really has helped me feel empowered, feel accomplished. Oh my gosh, I have felt so accomplished by doing these lives every morning. And it really has shifted my mindset this week, especially having to go in the office and giving me more of a positive outlook. So I'm really excited for these lives. Again, I believe it's March 29th. I'll have to go back and look, but I believe it's March 29th for my Q&A calls. So go check that out. It's the same day as the Craft Showdown Live. So there, earlier in the day will be a 1-hour Q&A call with me. And then that evening will be the Craft Showdown live with Corey Dahman. Dahman? I think that's how you say it. But anyway. Well, thank you, Kara. I appreciate you saying that I'm rocking the lives. I'm just getting up doing my thing is how I see it. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and go join my community and come hang out with us. Have a great day and do some art today.